Many people still think this is an exaggeration, but the truth is that Elon Musk has just shaken up the rules of the game once again. In the final stretch of 2025, the confirmation dropped like a bomb on the market. The much-talked-about Tesla Pi phone will arrive in stores in early 2026, with a promise that, if it delivers on what was said, will bury the old era of mobile carriers once and for all. Imagine never having to pay for an internet plan again. Never again. No mobile data? No home Wi-Fi? No hidden charges at the end of the month? This is about to become a reality. And the name behind it is Starlink. Direct integration with SpaceX's satellite network is the trump card that puts the Pi phone light years ahead of the competition. Unlike current smartphones, which are tied to cell towers, coverage areas, and agreements with carriers, the Tesla phone communicates directly with the sky. Literally. The connection is made via satellite, with virtually global reach, covering everything from bustling metropolises to places where cell phone signal is a joke. The most curious thing? This access will be lifetime and free, included in the device's package, with no fine print or catches. For those who travel frequently, live in remote areas, or are simply tired of the abuses of mobile phone operators, this sounds like a miracle. Imagine driving through the desert, camping in the middle of nowhere, or facing a general blackout, and still having internet. Starlink has already proven its worth in war zones and areas affected by natural disasters. Now, this same network will be accessible through a phone that costs less than $800. If this doesn't change the market, it's hard to imagine what would. Some experts are saying this will kill the concept of the carrier chip. It sounds like an exaggeration, but think about it. If the coverage is total and free, why would anyone keep a paid plan? Tesla wants more than just launching a smartphone. It wants to break the telecom monopoly, just as it shook up the automotive industry. And by including this functionality as standard, without charging a monthly fee, it directly targets the Achilles heel of giants like Verizon, AT&T, and even home internet companies. Another interesting thing is the psychological impact of all this. Having a smartphone that never depends on local signal or nearby towers completely changes how we relate to technology. There's no more, "I have no signal," "the internet is slow," or "the Wi-Fi is down." You're always online, even if the world around you is offline. It's almost like carrying a small spaceship in your pocket, permanently connected to the cosmos. This isn't just technology. It's a feeling of freedom that few brands have managed to deliver. And of course, this raises an inevitable question. How will Tesla sustain this model? The answer, according to sources close to the project, lies in scale. With thousands of satellites already operating and more being launched every month, the marginal cost of keeping an additional user connected is negligible. Furthermore, by integrating the Pi phone into Tesla's own infrastructure, the entire ecosystem benefits. The car, the house, the cell phone, everything connected in the same network. And once inside this system, the user will hardly want to leave. If you thought Tesla's Pi phone offering was impressive enough, wait until you hear about its battery life. The real star of this device isn't just its bold design or Starlink connectivity. The true magic trick lies in its 6,499 mAh battery, a monstrous capacity designed to last much longer than any conventional smartphone. Simply put, the Tesla Pi phone goes beyond the everyday experience we're used to. This device promises up to 5 days of continuous use on a single charge. And no, that's not a typo. 5 days, without having to worry about constantly searching for power outlets. What's most impressive is that this usage time isn't just for those who use their cell phone lightly. Tesla guarantees that the Pi phone can handle up to 56 consecutive hours of YouTube streaming. That's practically a movie and video marathon, with the assurance that the phone will keep up without giving up. And who hasn't gotten frustrated with that annoying low battery warning in the middle of an important conversation or a series that can't be paused? With the Pi phone, the feeling of freedom comes not only from the free internet, but also from this incredible battery life. Now, if you think that long battery life and performance are incompatible, you'd better think again. Tesla not only invested in a high-capacity battery, but also included solar charging in the Pi phone. That's right, the device can be recharged using sunlight. This is not common in cell phones, which generally rely exclusively on traditional chargers. The idea here is that you can be camping, on a trip to the countryside, or simply in a place without access to electricity, and still give the battery a boost. A simple but innovative idea that reflects Tesla's philosophy: unrestricted mobility. And if you think fast charging is something only for the future, the Pi phone already offers it in the present. Charging is ultra-fast, capable of charging 80% of the battery in just a few minutes. We're talking about such a fast recharge that, in a short time, the device will be ready for another marathon of use. Imagine being on your way to an important event, and you know your battery is running low. Just a few minutes plugged into the charger, and you'll have enough power for the rest of the day. No more waiting hours to have your device ready to go. Another highlight is the promise of 72 hours of use per full charge. For those who don't have their cell phone in hand 24 hours a day, this is more than enough. For those who depend on the device for work, social media, and constant calls, having a device that lasts all day without needing to stop to recharge is practically a dream come true. If Tesla really manages to deliver this battery life, the Pi phone will have the chance to win the hearts and wallets of many users. Of course, we can't forget the environmental impact. Although lithium batteries are still a market standard, Tesla is betting on cleaner energy with its solar charging, which further reduces the need for external energy sources. If we're talking about a sustainable future, how about including a technology that allows the cell phone to use the sun's energy itself, without depleting resources or depending on electrical power infrastructure? One of the first things that catches your attention on the Tesla Pi phone, even before turning on the screen, is the touch. The feeling of holding something solid, dense, yet lightweight is no coincidence. Tesla decided to ignore fragile trends and dared to use aerospace-grade titanium in the device's structure. No recycled aluminum or glass that breaks at the slightest glance. Here, the material is the same used in rockets and aircraft, with unparalleled resistance to impacts, oxidation, and extreme temperature variations. This already positions the Pi phone as one of the most robust and durable devices in smartphone history. In addition to its titanium structure, the device also features a self-healing nano coating. You know that scratch that appears out of nowhere on the casing? That annoying little mark after leaving your phone on the table with your keys? On the Pi phone, these small imperfections are smoothed out on their own over time, thanks to this intelligent, self-regenerating layer. It's the kind of detail that most brands don't even think about offering, but it shows how Tesla is playing in a different league, one where the focus isn't on launching a new model every year, but a single device that withstands the test of time with dignity. And speaking of time, the Pi phone was designed to last up to 10 years in real-world use. That's right, a decade. It may seem absurd when we're used to cell phones that lose performance after 2 years, but the overall design here explains why. Tesla thought of each component as part of a mission. Longevity. No protruding cameras that scratch in your pocket, fragile edges that chip with the slightest touch, or overly thin structures that break with a minor fall. The design is practical, resistant, and aesthetically clean, without resorting to extravagant colors or finishes that go out of style in 6 months. Ergonomics also deserves highlighting. The Pi phone was molded with subtle side curves that fit naturally in the hand, and a thickness calculated to not compromise battery life or cause discomfort. The unibody back with a matte finish repels fingerprints and accidental slips, while the device's center of gravity has been repositioned to ensure a balanced grip. Anyone who has suffered with phones that seem to want to slip out of their hand will understand the value of this in practice. It seems like a detail, but it completely changes the daily user experience. Another interesting point, there are no camera protrusions. Instead of adopting the current standard of protruding and unbalanced modules, the Pi phone maintains a completely level body, which avoids that classic dancing when placed on a table. Furthermore, this reduces the risk of lens glass cracks, increases durability, and contributes to the minimalist look that Tesla is proposing. The goal here is clear: functionality with elegance, without visual exaggerations or marketing gimmicks. In simulated durability tests, the Pi phone achieved impressive scores, with a 9.2 out of 10 rating for resistance, easily surpassing models like the iPhone 17, which scored 7.5. In humid environments, the device maintained its integrity without peeling or oxidizing, something common even in premium devices. And even in drops from up to 1.8 meters high, the smartphone remained intact. This isn't just a technical point, it's a direct response to the frustration of thousands of users who have lost phones in silly accidents. One of the biggest frustrations for those buying a new cell phone these days is opening the box and discovering it's already packed with useless apps. Games you'd never play, duplicate social media apps, tools you didn't ask for and can't delete. It's the infamous bloatware, that digital junk that consumes space, memory, and patience. Tesla, thankfully, decided to break with this tiresome tradition and launched a new operating system, Tesla OS. It was developed from scratch, with a total focus on speed, lightness, and absolute user control. The idea is clear: to give the phone owner the power to decide what goes in and what goes out. Right from the first tests, it became clear how much of a difference this choice makes. Tesla OS loads screens instantly, without the typical stutters of systems that run dozens of processes in the background. No spyware, no hidden systems collecting your data with every click. Tesla wanted a system that doesn't age over time, that doesn't start crashing after a year, and that maintains the same performance you saw on the first day of use. And so far, it seems they have managed to deliver this with an efficiency that bothers the competition. Another detail that immediately stands out is the interface. Tesla OS doesn't try to look like Android or iOS. It has its own identity: minimalist, clean, elegant. The menus are straightforward, the transitions are smooth, and every visual element seems to have been placed there purposefully. Nothing is superfluous, nothing is missing. There's no feeling of dealing with an inflated system. Even permission management is more direct. You know exactly what each app is doing and can cut off any unwanted access with 2 taps. This, of course, has everything to do with the company's philosophy. Just like in Tesla cars, where every detail is designed to optimize the experience, Tesla OS was designed to be invisible. It doesn't want to draw attention. It doesn't want to be a showcase of unnecessary features. It just wants to work, and work well. Elon Musk has already commented that the best system is the one you don't even notice is there. And this phrase perfectly defines what Tesla OS delivers: a system that disappears to give way to what matters: real-world use. Security is also a strong point. Unlike systems dominated by large technology corporations that profit from personal data, Tesla OS does not collect sensitive user information. There are no intrusive ads, nor personalized suggestions based on your habits. This gives the user a rare sense of privacy, something that is becoming increasingly scarce. The experience of using the Pi phone is, therefore, purer, more direct. It feels like you've gone back in time, to when technology was made to help, not to spy. And the best part? All of this works in harmony with the device's physical resources. The system's lightness directly contributes to battery performance and thermal control. Since there aren't dozens of processes running in parallel, the phone heats up less, consumes less energy, and lasts longer. Fluidity is maintained even with multiple tabs open, 4K videos playing, or demanding apps running. The feeling is of a system that breathes with you, adapting to the rhythm of your day without overwhelming the device with unnecessary tasks. Imagine a cell phone that understands what you want to do even before you touch the screen. Sounds like futuristic marketing hype, right? But that's exactly the kind of experience Tesla is promising with the artificial intelligence chip embedded in the Pi phone. This chip was designed from scratch to be more than just a regular processor. It functions as a predictive mind, analyzing your habits, schedules, and usage patterns to anticipate your actions. If you usually open the GPS every morning before leaving home, the system already prepares the app and even routes based on real-time traffic. All this without you asking. It's as if the phone has learned your routine. This level of automation isn't just for convenience. It also dramatically improves energy efficiency. Instead of leaving dozens of apps running in the background waiting for commands, Tesla's chip activates features only when needed. This helps maintain stable performance and reduces the risk of overheating, something that has become a nightmare in many modern cell phones. Anyone who has used a premium device that heats up just by opening the camera knows how frustrating that can be. The Pi phone, with its optimized AI, promises to keep the temperature under control even during intensive use. But it's not just the chip that impresses. The Tesla Pi phone's screen is another spectacle in itself. We're talking about an OLED panel between 6.7 and 7.2 inches with true 4K resolution. The image is so sharp that watching videos or viewing photos seems almost three-dimensional. The contrasts are deep, the black is truly black, and the color reproduction is incredibly faithful. Compared to current competitors, this screen is on another level. But the most interesting thing isn't the raw quality. It's the intelligence that accompanies the image. The Pi phone screen features dynamic brightness adjustment, which adapts to the environment much more precisely than conventional sensors. If you enter a dark place, the contrast adjusts to save your eyes and battery. If you are in direct sunlight, the brightness increases smoothly, without overexposing colors or consuming unnecessary energy. This adaptation, combined with the AI chip, creates a visual experience that not only pleases the eyes, but also contributes to the long battery life that the phone already delivers. Another thing worth highlighting is the screen's performance in games and high frame rate videos. With full 120 Hz support, on-screen movements are incredibly fluid, without any dragging or ghosting. For those who enjoy mobile games or do quick video editing, this makes a huge difference. But the most interesting thing is that the system automatically switches between 60, 90, and 120 Hz, depending on what is being displayed. This reduces energy consumption without compromising the experience. And of course, AI comes into play again in this process. It not only analyzes the content, but also understands user behavior. For example, if you usually watch videos with lower brightness at night, the system learns this. If you prefer high contrast during the day, it remembers this preference. And all of this is done locally, without sending data to the cloud, respecting user privacy. It's the kind of personalization that happens silently, without the need for constant manual adjustments. One interesting detail is that AI also contributes to the sound. When you're watching something or on a call,